All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Matt and Todd Show, show number 195. Dean, what about it? I can't believe it. What a accomplishment.
195. That's a lot of shows, man.
Hey, guys, come over and find us on Instagram. We're live here on Twitter, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and you can also find us on Apple Podcast. We're glad everybody stopped by for today. Dean, what you got for them today?
Well, today I'm going to talk about the number one overall draft pick, Victor Wembanyama. We're going to do a background check on him, let you know about that. Also, some key acquisitions in the NBA so far in this short off season. And last but not least, I'm going to discuss Ole Miss football, and we're going to find out if Lane Kiffin's going to be okay at quarterback.
I believe he's got enough quarterbacks over there. He probably will. Seems like he would.
Yeah.
Hey, college baseball, we got a blowout going on right now. Looks like LSU's definitely going to dump this one, but they will be back. I'm going to mention some USFL scores, and I'm going to talk about Mississippi State. They got plenty of guys coming back, but is it enough? Hang around and find out. Here we are, guys. Welcome back. Show number 194. Let's go up here and throw this up here on the screen. And
195, right?
Yeah, 195.
5 more to get the big 200.
I can't believe it.
We're going to pass MASH when we do 201. I saw where they had 200 show.
So I guess we can start off with a little roundtable talk here. As going through College World Series stuff, LSU has been they've been made a really good run at it. We can definitely say that. And also they beat Wake Forest 2-0, played 11 innings, and they went up playing Florida here 2 days ago, and that definitely turned out to do good for them also. And Florida in on a 3-2 win over TCU the other day. They had 2 runs in that first inning. They're on quite a tear right now. Florida definitely played a good game today. What was the score? 22-3.
22-3 when we quit watching.
22-3. That's just not.
And the bases were loaded.
Just not even fair. It's not even fun. Floyd had the most strikeouts. Had over 70-something strikeouts for a 9-inning game, which they went on and played 11. And it's just amazing to watch them play right now. They're a heck of a ball team, and I think most people feel like LSU's favored.
We're going to have an SEC champion either way, right?
Yes. Let's bring in some people here. Yes, hello, everybody. Yes, Jeff Anderson. We did have some weather come through about the time Dean was on his way over here. Man, I had lightning popping out here in the field. What a wild day that was.
Yeah, it got bad there for a minute.
Zach, what's up, Hot Wheels? Congrats to him. Gender reveal.
Yeah, we're going to have him a little girl, huh?
Yep, going to have him a girl. And Jerry Mobley. Jerry, thank you for being a big sponsor, part of the show. It's definitely, guys, go find him on Facebook over there. Mobley Concrete and Construction. He does free estimates. I mean, what else can you ask for? From little driveway stuff or huge long driveways or just anything in general. Go over and find Jerry.
Good fella.
Yeah, good people. Coach Short, what's going on? Their Storms are down there with them now. Jeff Bicuspid, 1883. Good show. Yeah.
Is it?
I did watch.
That's Yellowstone, right?
Yeah, it's kind of about the father. Does that make sense?
Is Harrison Ford in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one with Faith Hill and Tim
McGraw. That's it.
Okay.
And then there's another one.
There's another one. There's 1921 or.
I think they've kind of ruined all of them because I think it kind of has ruined all of them because you can kind of get too far into something, you can kind of just run too far with making of a good show, and too many good shows can be a bad show. I got some Office figure, little
Michael
I'm just going to use them as an example. The Office, I picked these up for a few bucks a day. I thought these were good conversation
props.
Pieces.
Yeah.
And that show kind of I like Will Ferrell okay, but you can kind of
Go overboard.
well, yeah, it just the show becomes different. You can kind of do too much.
Right.
So,
right.
but we don't try to do too much here. So, with that being said, college baseball, we had some scores there, and they did wind up winning the game 24-4. So, I would expect LSU is going to throw their other guy tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't suspect that they will probably go ahead and take that game. Coach Prime, here's some updates on him. Now, I've seen this watching through Well Off Media. Again, you can go find them on YouTube. He's had several clots in his growing area.
Mhm.
They went in there and fixed those. And he had some more in his leg. And then he said there was also one in his right leg. His left one is the one that's giving him most of the trouble. There was also a clot in his right thigh area, his growing area, that main artery, it runs up inside your leg.
Very serious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, the problem is once you have those, it's said that it's like having a concussion. Once you get one and you just kind of retended to have them again and again. So, but as of this morning, from what I've seen, Well Off Media again, everything's fine. Okay. People were like really panicking and kind of, they were kind of freaking out like, oh my God, Deion's going to die. And he's going
to have a blood clot burst loose.
Yeah. And he's not, how is he going to make the college football games? I mean, is he going to make the season, guys? I mean, how's it going to be for this year, Colorado?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to think the worst. That's possible, but let's be positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he's a God-fearing guy. So he said, hey, look, guys, God's good and he's taking care of me. And I will tell you this, we coming. He said they coming. Coach Short, what's he got for us on here? He went to see all the places. Oh, he went to the places, went back for all the suggestions. Yeah. He called looking the other day, him and the wife looking somewhere to go eat at, around here. And steak-wise stuff, hey, Smorgasbord where my son works and close friend Brad. Of course, I'm going to recommend that place.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
He's got a great steak. And the homemade cakes really kill it. And Coach Shorts definitely, he said he's a cake connoisseur. German chocolate, maybe the wife was a red velvet like mine is, or vice versa on that. And, of course, Tony's. Hey, you want a good steak around here cut in the area?
It's good.
Tony's
That's good steak, not cake. They don't have cake.
No,
Tony's.
right.
Steak.
It's steak, shrimp plates. That's Tony's the top line. If you just want a good hamburger steak, you can go right next door over there, barbecue place and more. So we turned him on to a few of those places around here in town. So
I was going to ask him something, and right quick, I'm not trying to get off in a rabbit hole, but I meant to tell you too. When I went to Kentucky earlier in the summer to see my uncle, I didn't stay long, but I went around by Boone, North Carolina, and saw App State University and their stadium. And I'm telling you, I've never seen anything. It was just beautiful. What do you think about? You ever been to App State, Coach Short?
App State.
I'll send just some pictures of it. It's not too big, like Tennessee Stadium's too big.
Yeah. Well, over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah,
you got just a lot of people packed in there. Yeah, App State's. It's a pretty part of the country.
Very pretty, and it's 34,000.
That's good enough.
34.
That's a good.
But
crowd.
Neyland's just, to me, I'm not knocking Tennessee. It's great, but that's just too big. And
that's a lot of people.
App State was very impressive, and I meant to share that with you and just forgot, just to be honest. But I was just wondering if he'd ever been by there before.
It's Boone, North Carolina. Is a gorgeous place, he said. It's a beautiful stadium up there.
Yeah, it's unique. I'm going to send you some pictures of it and see what you think.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. But USFL, hey, guys, playoffs, the Stallions are still in it. They're probably going to win it again. That's what all your sports people are saying. Now, as far as the Maulers and the Panthers, which will be Michigan, the Maulers did win 31-27 today. And it seemed like Perry had 370 yards. He's a good quarterback. They got a lot of good players on these teams. It's good to see that men can fit in somewhere, that they can find a team to go to and play.
Well, somebody was asking me today, they're like, what kind of league is this? And I'm like, it's for the guys that are good, but they're not necessarily good enough to be in the NFL, and it gives them an outlet instead of just having to sit at home. And I think it's a good thing. And you got the USFL, and what does McCarran play in the XFL?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Plays
think
St. Louis.
it's good. I
St.
think it's a
Louis.
good thing.
It is. What's up, Hayden Coker? How you doing, guy?
And some of those guys end up making it.
Yes. I mentioned Perry the other day. The Panthers, Perry had 340 plus yards. He's from Brown University. And then over 100 yards receiving for their wide receiver, Trey Quinn, which played at SMU. So they have some guys added to that team. In Birmingham and New Orleans, they're playing, I think they're kicking now
Yeah, they are.
or 6 or 7.
Maybe 7.
We'll try to go over and check them out.
Brown University, that's Ivy League school. Wow.
Yeah, that'd be E.J. Perry, the quarterback up there. Yeah, he's a heck of a ball player.
Yeah, smart too.
Both hosted Coach Holtz's wife tonight. Okay. He turned them down. Okay.
Do what now?
Okay. Says the guys from the show there at High School Football Alabama, go find them on Facebook. Coach Short and John Holder. They're the goats, man. You want high school football coverage for Alabama, and Coach Short will be in the house with us, not next Sunday because we'll be off 4th of July Independence Day week, but we'll be back the 9th, and Coach Short will be right here in the house with us live to break down all kind of high school football. He said that the guys from our show are in booth hosted by Coach Holtz's wife tonight, but he turned them down, and I know why he turned them down. He's got to watch the Matt Todd show.
Well, of course.
I mean, come on, man.
Lou Holtz or us.
Here's the roundtable. We talked about this. This is just something to create a little conversation, a little hot topic here. Top 5 greats, not just random people, but top 5 greats to not win a Super Bowl.
Not win a Super Bowl.
The number one I've seen on the list that I didn't know that surprised me was, I don't know why, you just kind of feel like O.J. Simpson was a champion. But
yeah.
And then you think again, like, no, he never did.
He never. No. I don't even know if he played on any good teams. I don't think he played on any good teams. My pick for that would be, and we can just, go back and forth with this. I thought Dan Marino was a great that never won it.
Dick Butkus. I mean, we're talking about old school grit and growl from Earl Campbell, Eric Dickerson,
Barry Sanders.
He's one of the greats. Randy Moss is one of my favorites, man. And Randy Moss
never won one. Well, what about his quarterback? He never won one. He was good. Randall Cunningham. That was his quarterback 1 year.
Yeah, he was great.
Or a couple of years actually.
Johnny U and Jeff said, and Tommy Nobis.
Tommy Nobis.
Yeah.
Johnny Unitas won one, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought they did. Didn't he?
Did he not ever win it
at the Colts?
Super Bowl? I thought he did. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he didn't. Fran Tarkington never won one.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned it earlier. Was a very good ball player. Was Steve Largent? Not Steve. Well, Steve Largent never won one, but Dan Fouts.
He played at Saints.
Played for Chargers.
Yes, old San Diego team.
Yeah, Dan Fouts and Rivers. Since you mentioned the Chargers, Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers never got it done.
But I'll ask this question: who do you think the greatest player ever is to never have won one? I'm going with Marino, but they did play for it. But you don't have to agree with that.
Probably being a big Sanders or Dickerson for me, just me personally.
Dickerson was pretty awesome.
My age, you're a little older. You got to see Eric play a little more than I did. I was, 7, 8, 9, and I was really tuned in on the Bears, Walter Payton, and of course the 49ers. Ronnie Lott. I love, Ronnie Lott.
Right. Well, Ronnie Lott was fantastic. But yeah, Dickerson, one of the greatest 5-year running back totals in NFL history.
Yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous. And
very special guy.
Never even played in the Super Bowl. But
see, that's bad, man. I mean, never even.
And Marino played in one. Boomer Esiason only played in one.
Yeah. No, I did remember watching Boomer at the Bengals.
And of course, I'm trying to think of somebody else that was just awesome and never won one. We've named most of them. Well, Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas.
Yeah, and and then those guys on those teams, look.
Cornelius Bennett. Yeah.
Cornelius Bennett and
you talking about Andre Reed, the receiver?
Yeah, the big end.
Oh, Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith,
Bruce
dude.
Smith never
see,
won one.
We got to remember the guys on that team. And Jim Kelly's team, that Bills team, they're loaded.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they won the AFC 4 times. And we're good before that.
Who was it kept knocking them out? Was it the Cowboys back then?
Cowboys beat them twice. Yeah. Giants.
Yes.
I don't know the other one. Giants only beat him on he missed the field
goal. I do remember that. That was in, 91,
91 maybe.
Yeah,
which I didn't know this till later was the basis for the character on Ace Ventura, Ray Finkel.
Oh, okay. The Giants, the kicker missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think the people gave that guy that hard of a time. I think they actually supported him.
I would hope they wouldn't. Jeez Louise, man. That was talking about a guy wound up in a mental hospital. His mom was crazy making cookies, making sure the laces are out.
His daddy just pulled the gun on him right when he knocked on the door, didn't he?
Now I need to clean my pants out.
Yeah, I don't. But, it just happened. I mean, the guy never missed field goals. It just wasn't meant to be,
Yeah, because you practice that
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of times. And when it comes to that moment, I've seen guys hit the kick, get an iced timeout,
Mm-hmm.
and come back out and miss it.
Well, he never missed many after that. They say it was ridiculous. He just never missed. And he did that one. He just pushed it a little to the right. And that kind of started. But they did have 3 more chances after that. And didn't even come close. That was the only time they came close.
So your guy would be who?
I'm going to go with Dan Marino.
Dan Marino.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not a.
Bruce Smith he was a great player to never win one.
They seem like Jim Kelly and those guys. They seem like nice guys, right?
Yes, very, very.
They seem like really nice. Of course, they wouldn't tabloids and
no, nothing. Thurman Thomas. I never heard anything on Thurman Thomas.
No, but they wouldn't the kind of people out there now that's looking for stuff.
No. They just played. I never heard a lot of team turmoil either. Even with the 4 Super Bowl losses, a lot of arguing amongst players and anything like that.
No.
Cornelius Bennett actually played in 5 Super Bowls and never won. Played 4 with the Bills and he started with the Falcons.
Poor guy.
5 Super Bowls.
That may be one of the worst stories.
I know. And a great career. We love Cornelius Bennett, obviously, because he's the Tide. Played for the Tide, but
Kelly was the quarterback for the Houston Gamblers. I didn't know that.
I didn't
know that.
I didn't either. I knew he played in the USFL. I just didn't know where. Steve Young played in the USFL.
Norwood was the kicker who missed.
Scott Norwood. Yeah. So he was the basis for the
Laces out.
Ray Finkel character. And but great movie. And I never did hear, it being a big deal. Nobody was mad at him or anything like that.
No, I don't think it got. I don't think it got too carried away. Too ridiculous.
It did not. And of course, Phil Simms. I don't think. No, Phil Simms was not the quarterback in that one. It was that Jeff Hostetler. Phil Simms quarterback. But you had Lawrence Taylor on the Giants side, so.
Yeah.
He won 2. Lawrence Taylor won 2.
He definitely was a good one.
Oh, he's probably the greatest. He may be one of the top 5 greatest defensive players ever. I would put him, Ronnie Lott, Butkus, Dion. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're getting off on another subject here.
Those are 5 of the a kind of a top 5 list, and kind of some people that names kick around. Butkus and Simpson being older guys that we didn't get to watch play, you would think that they may have won one because,
right,
just to who they are. You just kind of you kind of feel like that. That they would have won one.
Well, see, they didn't have Super Bowls when Jim Brown was playing, and I really don't know if they won the NFL title if they won it when Jim Brown played. I know he was dominant. He may be the greatest football player ever.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson never played for never won a Super Bowl. But, when we say he played in 32 ball games.
Yes.
32.
Yeah, that definitely put a pinch on him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mississippi State Bulldog. What kind of season are they going to have this year? Will Rogers will be back at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just, you want to get into that?
Yeah, let's go on into that. I got my stuff here on who I'm doing. You can go on into that.
Will Rogers, Dean, he will be back again. Going to be quite an exciting year, I think, for him. I think he's going to be okay.
He's already thrown for 15,000, hasn't he? In his career, it's ridiculous.
He did have 4,000 yards last year.
Wow.
Now, I've got their schedule pulled up there, and we'll definitely take a look at that. We will look at that. Mike Wright, a quarterback from Vanderbilt. These are some transfers that's come in to Mississippi State. Mike is a 3-star guy coming from Vanderbilt from Woodward Academy over in Georgia. You ever heard of them? Woodward Academy?
I've never heard of Woodward Academy.
I haven't either. I don't. I've seen him throw the ball up at Vanderbilt, and he's not terrible. Okay, he's not really bad. Now, they transferred Lee from Penn State. They got this guy in, and he's a 3-star. Some guys had him as a 4-star running back.
Really?
So that's definitely somebody.
So he's in from Penn State.
Yeah, and they still got some running backs back. Woody, that's what they call him, Mark, will be the number 1 guy this year. Now, however, the offensive line will translate. That's the key thing here. Remember, Coach Leach has passed on. So is the offensive line, they're going to change from a offensive pass blocking style to a run block style.
See, I really hadn't known who their running back's been in a while.
Well, Coach Arnett, Zach Arnett was a defensive coach. So now you got a defensive coach who is going to be your head coach. Jeff says Woodward Academy is located at College Park.
I've never heard of Woodward Academy.
Don't tell me this is going dead. Why is this? Dude, I got the.
Wait just a second.
I don't know.
One of our other friends that don't know we do a show.
Yeah, nobody does.
I'm on live. Oh. Right.
Really?
Really? No idea we did a show. I just forgot. I can understand that. We've been on a while.
Yeah, a couple of years. I think you would have
3.5.
You'd have figured it out by now. This cord is not. This is why I wish I. All right, I guess.
You sound good.
Well, the computer's gonna go dead. We won't have no show. So hang on.
All right. Time out.
All right. Welcome back in here. Thank you guys for hanging around. Yeah, we almost died. Computer almost died.
Not us, the computer.
Now, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, thank you guys for sticking around for those few little seconds there. And we will continue on. Linebackers for Mississippi State Bulldogs. We're breaking down some of this group here, and we're going to look at their schedule for next year. Wheat and Watson are gone. They're going to be hard to replace, but a guy named Jet Johnson.
It sounds like somebody be good.
He sounds like a football player.
Yeah, Jet Johnson.
And Sean Preston Jr. They are back, and they are quoted on quote saying that they are they're ready to win. That's good to be prepared for. Now, 11 starters from last year back. Offensive coordinator Kevin Barbera, Appalachian State.
Wow.
Brought them up.
Yeah, we was talking about them earlier.
So their new offense at App State, 360 passing to 470 rushing. But last year for Mississippi State, now, was what you asked me earlier, so I was going to share some of that. Yeah. Because everybody knows how they threw it. 630 passes, 295 rushes. So now let me go back through there where he was at App State. So we're looking for that type of offense. 360 passes to 470 rushes.
So he's running it 10% more of the time than he is passing.
Yes. Rufus Harver at wide receiver and Going and Ray Thomas are going to be some guys to be able to come back and play also.
Yeah, I've heard of Ray.
Freddie Robinson from Eastern Washington is a guy they added at wide receiver. Look for this new tight end. He's a transfer in, Raylan Goody. He's from Georgia. Big tight end. Wanted to come in and play wide receiver. Zayon Thomas, a 4-star receiver. Another guy they got coming in. And the big name that you don't want to miss here, guys, write this name down for sure. Spivey. Remember him from TCU?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Spivey is now a Mississippi State Bulldog.
Somebody left TCU to come to Mississippi State.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah. I don't know if his playing time changed.
Probably. That's got to be it. Well, I don't know. That's odd.
Yeah, just to move around and to come away from that.
I mean, you went what, 12-2 last year?
Yeah,
13-2.
Yeah, but now they did lose a bunch of TCU.
Yes, they did.
We'll talk about them sometime too.
Yeah, we gotta get on them. We gotta at least semi-preview them.
Yeah, they lost a lot. I think they got 4 coming back. O-line, 4 starters back. Will Friend is the line coach. Now they lost their center.
That's big.
That's the only position they lost.
But it may not be as big because they're not going to be. I'm sure they'll still be in the shotgun, but they were in the shotgun constantly before, right?
Yeah, and even running the ball, that don't mean you're going to be in the center,
right? Not anymore
in college football.
No,
probably not. Saying. Laosa may take over the job at center. I think he was a guard last year, so he may be the guy to come in and take that over. So, check mark, offensive line. Mississippi State.
Definitely a check.
Check.
Okay.
Defense, Matt Brock. They only give up 23 points on average last year. Pickering and Crumby, defensive backs, and Johnson and Watson, your linebackers, they're going to have a pretty good, strong foundation for that middle of the defense. And I mean, looking from above, linebacker position, and one of those D-backs, they're going to be really good. But All-American Forbes, the Forbes kid, well, he's gone. He graduated. It's big. That's a huge loss. All-American. You lose an All-American D-back.
Oh, yeah. Which has happened to Alabama more than once. And it takes a year you don't just bounce back from that. Not immediately.
Well, they're the quarterbacks for your defense.
Right.
I mean, somebody might want to say the linebackers are because they're the ones probably calling plays, but ringing up things to getting in the right pass coverage.
You better have the good pass coverage.
Yeah.
And that's ironic because most teams that throw the ball like Mississippi State did do not have good defenses, but I thought they did.
Yeah.
I mean, you said 23 points a game.
Yeah, that was their average giving up last year. Richardson, he's a big defensive back, but Their safeties are gone, but one. They got one safety coming back. That could hurt them. Special teams, they got a guy in from UCLA and a punter, excuse me, from UCF. Wide receiver, Tulu Griffin. Should probably be a top 5 receiver. This is definitely going to be a guy to keep your eye on.
Good name. Tulu.
Now, his first name is Lideatrick.
No, God!
Lendrick.
No, God, please, no! No! No!
Yeah, that's
Is that Michael Scott?
yeah, that Lendrick. Tulu. We can just call him Tulu Griffin. How about
Tulu Griffin. Yeah, he gonna be good.
Yes, that's the guy.
Okay. Griffin.
Now, so lastly, we can't leave this guy out.
Mm-hmm.
Not Kenny Rogers.
He can't be. Sounds like he's as good as Kenny Rogers.
Will Rogers is going to be back at quarterback. He will have a chance to make longer throws down the field in this offense. This is not going to be a quick 2-3 step drop, dink and dunk, 5, 8, 7 yards out, slants.
Which he's fantastic at.
Yep. So now he's going to get to really wing it out, maybe throw some goes and some post routes, or some deep posts and some long crossing routes.
Man, I got a question for you. He top quarterback in the SEC? Possibly.
Well, y'all judge this room. Y'all can tell us this. He threw for 4,000 yards last year, 34 touchdowns, and was 68% on his completions.
Yeah, but a lot of them were short. I mean, but that's still good. That's still good.
So this year, I'll assume he throws for 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns.
I would say it, though, for 3 still. I don't think they're going to keep it out of his hands. They're probably 50-50 instead of 80-20.
They may have 30 touchdowns, not 34. It maybe be a 65%, 64% completion percentage. Maybe.
Yeah, it may go down a little bit, I would think.
Well, if you're going to start throwing the ball a little more downfield, there's a higher chance of interceptions.
Right. I don't think we'll find out that he's only a good short game passer.
No. Yeah.
I've never seen anybody be a great short game passer, but not be able to adjust to the deep ball any.
And to say that, can he make those long throws down the field? Is that something they're going to be able to do? Now, do we think that they can probably go on and win 9 or 10 games? Schedule notes, Arkansas, they're going to play them after a bye week. They're going to host Arizona. And since 2016 versus A&M, they're 5-2. But
let's see this big schedule.
Podcast listeners, September 2nd, they will open at home there, Starkville, Mississippi, southeastern Louisiana Lions.
I think they'll get past them.
They will then host Arizona, as I just mentioned.
I think they win that.
They're a very mediocre 12.
Yeah,
Pac-12
Pac-12.
team.
I think they can win that.
They will open at 3 o'clock on SEC Network. The following week, they will play SEC Network again and play at 6:30. Now, those two, I said, but it's going to start September 16th, Dean.
Oh, they don't get that much time off, huh?
Third week at home. First 3 games are at home. Noon game at Starkville versus LSU, September 16th.
I don't think they win that this year.
All right, moving right along here, September 23rd at South Carolina Gamecocks, the Fighting Beamers.
I think that's a toss-up, Matt. I don't know. I could see them upsetting South Carolina.
I could too.
I mean, I'm not going to predict it, but I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think it's a definite loss, do you?
Not dead. It's not a dead ringer loss.
No, definitely not.
September 30th at home. Crimson Tide.
I think that's a dead ringer loss.
Is there any chance, anybody listening, is this microphone on? Is there any chance that Alabama loses to Mississippi State?
I don't think so.
Nobody?
Saban's never lost to Mississippi State.
Yeah, nobody? Okay.
Mississippi State came in number 1 one time, and Alabama didn't lose to him. They've got Mississippi State's number. I can't remember the last time they did lose to Mississippi State. I'm not taking nothing away from Mississippi State. We have a lot of people around here that go to Mississippi State. Did you know that?
Yes. They recruit this area. Marcus had a visit the week when COVID hit. He had a visit to go that week.
Right.
We didn't get to
come
go.
to school. Well, I know the woman that
because
works
of
at Hardin's daughter
Yeah,
goes
Lisa.
there.
Yeah.
And but no way. Alabama's just
Okay.
got them. I don't know why
Now,
they just do.
On a little side note, since we've had Bama there, it picks that up when you bump in the Herb Street says Alabama's winning the national championship. You see that? He was on McAfee. He was on the Pat Mack show.
What would he be basing that off of?
He just says it's time. Saban's not playing around. They know about the high school scene. And from what I hear on Twitter spaces that I'm in, Saban is killing the recruiting trail again right now. They're going to have another big 24 class. Right now, they're like 20th.
Right.
But they're going to pick up spots that they're lacking or needed at. So Herb Street just says that with the class they just got, being number one, the best class he's ever had.
Well, yeah, but they're not ready to play yet.
And the scheduling, how the schedule's going to lay out. And he said, I think they walk right into it. Georgia is lacking too much up front. Tennessee's not going to be ready for what's going to happen when they show up Tuscaloosa because they're missing too many high-powered offensive weapons, and they're not going to be as good up front on D, supposedly. Now, these are just what's being said around. But that's Alabama, and we'll do them in a couple of weeks. So Herb Street's picked Bama to win the title. Mississippi State Bulldogs play on the 30th. October the 7th, Western Michigan Broncos will be at Starkville.
I think that'll be a win.
Then they will play the almighty bye.
Oh, gosh. That's 4-3.
Dadgummit, idle.
They've never been beat.
October 21st, they will be at Arkansas Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
I think that game could go either way. I think that could go either way. I don't think they'll lose to South Carolina and Arkansas. I think they'll beat one of them, but not both.
These next 4 weeks, starting that 21st, they got Arkansas. All right. Then they're going to go to Auburn. Winnable game.
Very.
Then they're going to host Kentucky.
Lord.
That's a winnable game. I'm okay with maybe picking Mississippi State there. Then they're going to go to A&M. And then they're going to have, of course, Southern Miss, and they'll play Ole Miss the 23rd of November for the Egg Bowl at 7:30 Eastern time. So,
what you got them going, man? I got them 6-6 at best. I don't know. You think can they have a winning record? They're going to have to pull some upsets.
Playing Kentucky at home will help. I'm not sure. Look, the newsletter is still out on the porch. And it's raining outside, and nobody gets the paper to find out about Auburn. It's still out. He's transferred in a lot of people, yes.
Right.
But they just don't know.
We just don't have a lot of knowledge about the Auburn Tigers as of right now.
No, so
that's always been a good matchup too.
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't think he can beat Auburn.
No,
I think Hugh, he's just got enough coaching experience. It's going to be there at Auburn. We don't know what time the game's going to be. If it's at night, I'm going to Auburn. If it's a noon game, I'll go Mississippi State. How about that?
Yes, I agree.
If it's a noon game, I go Bulldogs.
That's 4 games. Well, actually 5 on their schedule that I think could go either way. You got South Carolina, Arkansas, A&M, Kentucky, and Auburn. I just don't know if there's a clear-cut favorite. None of those. Let's just say they go 3-2 in those.
They went 9-4 last year.
I don't think there's any way they go 9-4.
They beat Memphis, Arizona. They lost LSU 31-16, and then they go on a 3-week winning skid, winning against Bowling Green. They beat A&M 42-24. Then they beat Arkansas 40-17.
Wow.
Then they go on a 2-game skid. They lose to Kentucky. At Kentucky, 27-17, and then they, of course, lost to Bama 30-6, play off, and then they
lost that one.
Overtime game against Auburn, 39-33, lose to Georgia, 45-19. Then they
beat Ole Miss.
Beat Ole Miss 24-22.
I do not think they'll beat Ole Miss again.
Beat Illinois, which I think Illinois is going to be better this year, too. Look for Illinois to be improved.
Illinois has got a better – they've been better.
Those Beelum, the coach?
Last couple of years, yes.
Yeah, I like Beelum. So, I guess last question.
The guy that Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess the last question will be, and we'll let you take over. does the Bulldogs? I mean, I've laid out the case. This is the court of law, and this is what it is. And do you think they're going to improve or stay the same? Are they going to be 4-4 again in conference?
I don't think they're going to improve.
No improvement.
No, I think they're going to be a different team, but I don't think they're going to top that 9-4 record. I'm just throwing this out there: 7-5, 7-5, maybe at best. They might win their bowl game. Go 8-5.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You think they can win 8?
Again, man.
I just don't.
That A&M game. So they beat them last year, right? So
yes,
if they can beat A&M, they'll be another 9-win team. But I definitely don't see them beating LSU or on the September 16th, Alabama, October 21st. Health could play a role too.
It could.
I don't think they're super deep. I don't think they're super deep, and especially in the running back position. Because Woody, look, just barring that, Woody don't get hurt. But hey, look, they're going to have to go to A&M November the 11th. That's late in the year.
Well, they got to go to A&M, Auburn, Arkansas, and South Carolina. You're going to be lucky if you get out of that 2-2. Then you still got Bama, LSU, and Ole Miss.
The Ole Miss game is at Starkville.
I don't think anyway. I think Ole Miss is going to. I felt like Ole Miss blew that game last year.
They did.
I thought they had it and just kind of slipped away from them, and they're going to be gunning for that.
8-4.
They'll be. I don't think they'll go 8-4, but I think 7-5, 8-4. That's a good range.
Yeah, if they win 8, we'll say good year. If
No,
they win 7, we'll say that's pretty par. I mean, now they got a new coach.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's going. He's going to do a good job. But the new offense. You got new line coaches kicking around down there.
But Will Rogers could win a game or two for them. So I'm thinking 7-5, 7-5, 8-4. No better.
Okay.
Maybe worse. I do not think they'll have a losing record, though.
No, we still see them going bowling.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I think they'll get into the bowl game.
We still see them going bowling.
See, it's just going to be a different team, but they may be a harder challenge, And I think one of the reasons that Alabama didn't have a lot of trouble with them is they just didn't have a lot of trouble with the way they attack defenses. With that throwing. Alabama just ain't going to have a lot of trouble with that. I never worried about that game. I know people are like, well, you being kind of arrogant about Alabama. No, I'm not. I never worried about Mississippi State.
Because of how they play.
No, I'm just never. And if you'll look, then Saban's tenure or Leach against Saban, it never was a good game.
Yeah, it just seemed like he was always ready.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Jerry? Coach Short, thanks 7-5 too for Mississippi State. So did they improve from last year?
I don't.
The consensus kind of says no. They're going to lose one of those games that, and I'm going to tell you. And here's the thing: it's always A&M. Every time that we get to this schedule, and we're going to go through Ole Miss here in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's always that. A&M is the swing game for every. Have you noticed that?
Oh, I know.
Everybody's so darn curious about A&M.
We actually did not predict A&M to be great, did we?
No. Well,
5-7, 6-6.
Eventually, at some time, at some point in time, they're going to have to be good again.
Yeah. Well, with the recruiting he's done. I mean, didn't they lead the country?
Yeah. Well,
a lot of those guys have left.
The year before they did,
Yeah.
but some of those guys did leave. So.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the hang gang hook is if Mississippi State can beat A&M, then I guess they could win 8. But if they don't, that's a swing game, man. If they can't beat A&M, they're probably going to be 7. And we're just thinking that you did Kentucky. Did they even beat Kentucky?
I think they can beat Kentucky, yes, and I think they can beat Auburn. And to be honest with you, I think they can beat
Auburn.
I know they can beat South Carolina and Arkansas, but all 4 of them, that's tough. I do not think they'll beat LSU. I don't think they can beat Alabama. I don't think they can beat Ole Miss.
Aggies will be good again.
I got them 7-5. I can't go past that.
They think when Jimbo leaves, they'll be good again. Tell us how you really feel, Jeff.
But I do like the fact that Will Rogers is back, and they're not bad on defense.
Well, they lost that one guy for safety. Okay, They lost one guy on safety. They're bringing back some defensive backs. That linebackers type situation.
That's good.
Up front on the defensive line, they're going to be solid. Okay, offensive line wise, they just lost their center, but they're going to move a guard around that's going to play. That's probably going to be the center.
Right.
Tailback wise, I've told you who Woody is. Woody rushed for.
Well, see, we don't, like we said, they've just not had much of a running game. So,
Woody rushed for over 1,000 yards. I mean, right at 1,000 yards. He rushed for 580 or 560 yards, but he was not the guy.
Right.
He had to share the ball, and they throw it.
Oh yeah, they run it.
This is Sparta!
I'm sorry about that.
Hey, he's not on the show.
Yeah, he'll be live here in just a minute. So, Woody being the guy, they're going to go back to a run style offense. Is that going to make a difference? Because when they play Auburn and Kentucky and A&M, those three games we think are swing games for them that could go either way. Are they going to be prepared to stop the run? But is Mississippi State's offensive line going to be ready to block for the run?
Right.
These guys been pass blocking for a couple of years now.
Oh yeah. Well, ever how long Leach? Ever since we've been doing the show. 3 years. 3.
But he wasn't there that first year.
I mean, we had games where we talked about them and they ran the ball 12 times.
He wasn't there that first year when we was doing it at the church. He wasn't there.
Was he not? The next year when we were at the house, he was.
Yeah. I think he came. Well, he came when we started in here. So, but last 2 years though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are they going to be? It's going to be different.
I think 7-5. They're going to really have to pull some upsets to go 9-3. I don't think there's any way possible they go better than 9-3. And 9-3, Arnett be the coach of the year in the SEC.
I could, if he wins 9 or 10 games, he skunks. Something happens and they beat LSU. I mean, Daniels goes out and he hurts his arm. Second play of the game, and some guy, Nussmeier comes in and.
No, Rich Nussmeier's good.
No, he's not bad either. So I don't know if that'll.
Yeah, he's a great backup.
That may not be a good idea.
He's not as good as the backups we're fixing to talk about, but he's a good one.
No, I don't see them improving over what they have. So if they finish the same as, or if they win 8 games, that'll be a good season for Mississippi State. New coach, rest in peace, Coach Leach.
I don't think you can get on them if they go 7-5.
No, I agree. No,
maybe 500. You can be like, hey, we should have done a little better, Coach.
If they win 7 games, they're not running him off.
No.
They're not running him off on 7 wins.
The only reason they'd run him off 4-8, maybe 5-7.
Yeah, if he only wins 4 or 5, like he's loses to Kentucky, loses to Auburn, and Ole Miss. Some games that they could probably win.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses all those, the offense is going to change around. I told you they got new coordinators, and we'll see how it goes for them.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting just because of the change, I think.
Yeah.
From Leach to whatever this guy's got for him.
Maybe like some old Sylvester style football, kind of running the ball.
Is there any way he comes back in and just keeps doing what Leach was doing because of Rogers?
No.
Okay.
No, that's the foregone.
Okay.
He brought in that new coach from Appalachian, and
he's just not going to.
Yeah, I told I said
he probably quit. He wouldn't have came. He'd been like, "No, I'm not coming."
Yeah, no, that's not the style I run. That air raid's gone. It died with Leach because all the guys that do it are all what's his name at Kentucky.
Oh, Hal Mummy.
So all those guys are they're gone. So.
No disrespect to Leach, I don't like it, but if anybody made it work, I guess it was Leach because they would have good defenses. 9-4 is a good record.
Well, averagely, Arnett, he only give up average, like 3 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, I know.
It's not bad.
It's very good. Playing their schedule they play.
It's not bad at all. No. So, we'll say they're about the same. What about Old Miss Rebels? Bring them on in here.
Let me get over here to the Ole Miss. Guys, this ain't looking good.
Bring in Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin coming back live on the scene.
All right, Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin, our favorite Probably our favorite coach besides Saban. When you Kirby. Oh, yeah, Kirby. All right, quarterback problems. He's got some major quarterback problems, and that is that he don't know who to start. Jackson Dart, 3,600 yards, or Spencer Sanders, transferred from Oklahoma State, 3,000 yards last year. Man, why don't you take a guess how many career yards Sanders has? Just take you a wild guess there.
10,000.
11,000. So
Close.
And I hate to say this, and Coach Short, you agree with it. Matt, you'll not agree with it. If I'm an Ole Miss fan, I don't care which one of them gets it. They're going to have the greatest either way. That's good. Jackson Dart's good. I personally think Dart will win it. And if he messes up or gets hurt, Sanders will be in. So he's set at quarterback. I think he's pretty set at running back. Judkins is.
Oh, God, man, come on.
1,567 yards, 16 touchdowns.
Yeah. How he got out of State Alabama, Saban, and, what's his name was here then?
Pike Road.
There's no way they should have. But, I mean, Royal and them, Bama now. We ain't seen him play, but
right.
Are we going to say he's better than Judkins? I mean, we ain't seen him play yet, so we can't say that.
Nah, I think Judkins is the best back, or has the potential to be the best back in the conference. Him and Rocket Sanders.
Yeah, Brandon Taylor says that Howell is selling how-to on the air raid books that high school coaches are making a killing.
Huh. Well, back to Ole Miss right quick. You got Dart, Sanders, and who knows? Kiffin may do this he may run Jackson Dart for 4 series and Sanders for 4 series. And you got Judkins too. That's just going to be tough to stop. Their whole O-line's back, Matt. All of them except one. And the backup's got a ton of experience. They did lose their top 2 receivers, but they got a all-conference pick transfer in from Louisiana Tech, Trey Harris. Take a wild guess how many passes Mr. Harris caught last year.
42.
93.
I will send you to Jesus.
He sounds like he'll send a DV to Jesus. And Chris Marshall from A&M, who was going to be in the rotation at A&M. So, guys, this Ole Miss offense is going to be a juggernaut. So you got Dart, Sanders, whole line, Judkins. You got this Trey Harris and Marshall. They've got 2 receivers that were in the rotation last year back. Michael Trigg is a solid tight end. He's one of the best tight ends in the conference. Transferred from USC. I think they're going to be unstoppable offensively. But the problem last year was not their offense, and I think you know where it was, right? Defensive side of the ball. So he brought in Pete Golding, who Alabama fans aren't crazy about. But let's just face it, he wasn't terrible. Did you think he was terrible?
Not terrible is probably not a
accurate word.
It's not he just wasn't good. He put the defense in situations. I'm not going to get on a 10-minute spiel because I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's his schemes. He didn't
like his schemes.
He didn't. He had he would have all linebackers, like on 3rd and 2, he would have all linebackers up on the line. We had no linemen on the field. We would have no defensive linemen on the field on short yard situations.
Right. Yeah.
What is he doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a college defensive coach by any stretch of the means, but
he seemed to puzzle people at times.
Why are we?
But I think with the experience he gained from being in Alabama, he's going to be tough.
Sure.
And but they give up 31 points a game last year, Matt. And down the stretch, they give up 35 the last 4 or 5 games. They lost they lose the last 4 ball games, 4 of the last 6, 5 of the last 6.
Yes.
And it was bad. But defensively, they get Pete Golden. Their whole D line's back. That's Jared Ivey, Cedric Johnson, J.J. Pegues. So they're solid there. Linebackers, they have Monty Montgomery, transferred from Louisville. He made 70 tackles from Louisville last year. And they have the number 1 freshman linebacker in the country in Suntarine Perkins. So they should be solid up the middle. They got a good D-line. You said check mark. Okay, we're going to give them a thumbs up on D-line. We're going to give them a thumbs up at linebacker. Secondary, both safeties are back. They lost one corner, but they have DeAndre Prince back. They got Young and Washington back at safety. That's Isham Young and Trey Washington started last year. But they got a ton of transfer DBs.
Yes.
Ton of transfer DBs.
Jeff just said, they have, what, 20 something, transfers come in.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, they're up there close with the Florida State area, the transfers in Colorado.
Right. I don't know, man. They look very strong to me. We're fixing to go over schedule.
Yeah.
So they got the best quarterback combo in the conference. We don't know about their receivers yet, but I'm guy that caught 93 passes at Louisiana Tech is not going to come to Ole Miss and not be able to catch. Judkins is best top 3 back in the country, probably. Definitely in the conference. Line's good. D-line's good. Linebackers are okay. DB's okay. I think they're going to have a good year, but let's just look and make sure at this schedule. Okay, you got it pulled up.
Yep, September 2nd.
All right, Mercer.
Yeah, that's a win.
I think that's a win. Here's an interesting game.
At Tulane.
Very interesting. Tulane, who went great last year, beat USC. I'm assuming they lost a lot from last year's team.
Yeah.
But at Tulane, is there a chance, Matt? Is there a chance that Ole Miss drops that?
Yeah.
But do you think they will?
There's a chance. I mean,
you think that's just kind of a coin flip on that one?
They're going down and playing them at Tulane. That's not going to be a cushy pushy. It's not going to be an easy game.
I don't think so either. Georgia Tech, which I do think Georgia Tech will be better, but I don't think it will matter. They play them at home.
Yeah, it'll be a win.
I think they'll win that. They go to Bama. If this game was in Ole Miss, I might give Ole Miss a nudge, but not in Tuscaloosa. I think they lose that. Here we go, LSU at home. That's huge. That's huge. Can they upset LSU?
Well, they do have them at Faulkner Hemingway Stadium. They are playing them at home. Then they have Arkansas the next week, starting in October.
At home, right. Both of those at home.
Now, coming off the Alabama game, which they are going to be at Tuscaloosa.
Bama and LSU back to back.
That he should have tried to burn that. He should try to get out of that. I don't know. I mean, you just kind of have to take what it is, but you're going to be playing the apparently they go by last year stuff. I guess 6 and 7 team.
Mm-hmm.
So you lose the game to Bama, and that game's probably going to be. I bet it'd be a 2:30 game. They usually play them at 2:30. And the LSU game, being at home, I bet it was going to be a night game because they're not going to play a 2:30 game back-to-back because they already got 2 games, Mercer and Tulane. The Tulane game's at 2:30 on September the 9th.
That's a big game. Now, guys, if you're not doing anything on September 9th, you need to watch Ole Miss and Tulane. That is a big game. I do think Ole Miss comes out in that. I don't think they beat Alabama because it's in Tuscaloosa. Man, I'm going to.
No, they're not beating LSU.
You don't think they'll beat LSU? Okay.
3-2.
3-2. All right. I do think they beat Arkansas at home. I think they beat Auburn on the Plains.
5-2.
That ain't the Plains, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
5-2.
I think they beat Vandy.
Man, Auburn's looks like a lot of nice home games. You notice that?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. I think they beat Vandy.
6-2.
I think they beat A&M.
7.
Then they go to Georgia.
At Georgia. 7-3.
I'm going to pick them 7-3, and they win their last 2, 9-3. Matt, me and you's on the exact same page. I had Ole Miss going 9-3.
Yeah, I could.
And here's what I got now. Listen to this and tell me what you think. If they do beat LSU, I think they lose to A&M or Auburn or Arkansas or somebody. I do not think they beat. If they do upset Bama, no matter what happens, they're not going to beat Georgia and Bama. They may upset one of them, but
I don't see it.
10-2 at absolute best for Ole Miss. Do you agree with that? No way they go better than 10-2.
No, I don't think they win 9.
I think they're going 9-3.
They went 8-5 last year.
8-5 last year. I think they go. I'm going to predict them to go 9-3.
I mean, you can see right here. season started out, played Troy.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
They were
7-0
7-0.
going into Baton Rouge and lost 45-20. I'd have
Lost
to go back and
4
watch
out of
that
5.
game.
Lost 4 out of 5.
I'd have to go back and watch that and see what happened.
I don't know what happened. Well, a lot of speculation was that Kiffin was just going to Auburn, and that took the focus off
Maybe that was during when all that come out.
them doing anything.
But they come back the next week and they A&M drops an egg because A&M went on a losing tear
Oh,
and
man.
they beat them 31-28. Then they were off. And then they come back and lose to Bama, lose to Arkansas, lose to State, and then they play Texas Tech, which I did a spot on. I'm telling you, they're going to be good this year. Don't hide your eggs on Texas Tech Red Raiders because they beat Lane Kiffin them 45-25.
Well, the nation, the experts agree with us. I'm not saying that they check with us.
Yeah, they do check with us. I
But-
talked to Greg Mack yesterday.
9-3, they got them number 20 in the country, and that's pretty fitting.
Mm.
I do think they'll be better than Mississippi State, and I think that they'll probably finish 3rd in the West, possibly 2nd. They're not going to win the West.
No.
They're not going to win the
No.
West.
And so we got them being comparable with the same as last year. They're going to win 8 or 9 games.
I would think, yes, definitely.
Yeah, I can go along with that. Now, here's a question.
Now, their offense is loaded.
Is Lane Kiffin, I mean, what year is this out there for him?
Not
6.
many.
Out there 6 years?
I don't even know. I don't think it's been that long, has it? 4, 5? You may be right. You mean look it up?
27 or 18. What I'm saying is, as long as he's been there, now he's done a pretty good job.
He has.
And you know what I'm fixing to ask you?
What, will he be Saban's replacement?
No. I mean, you've been there a while and you ain't won the West. You're not
Right.
even finishing 2nd in the West.
Yeah.
Just 3rd.
He's not done as well as Freeze did there, but he's been.
Come on, Lane. What
Do you get rid of him?
I mean, are we looking? Hey, hello. I mean, I'm ready to move. I
wouldn't think so.
I mean, if he wins, what if he only wins 7 games this year?
He'll get fired with their schedule and their talent. See, from what I see on their schedule, Matt, there's only 3 teams on their schedule that are better than them on paper. That would be Bama, Georgia, and LSU. So if he goes 7-5, he's going to be on the hot seat. 110%. He may be on the hot seat if he goes 8-4.
Is there a chance Lane Kiffin only wins 5 games next year? I don't know. I mean, but if something stupid like that happens, just
He needs to
remarkably
improve.
ignorant.
They got to be better than 8-5. They've got to be.
At some point, the boosters are going to start saying, Lane, we'd like to. Can you at least be runner up in the West? I mean, I know Bama's kind of running things, but is there a possibility?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Is there a possibility that you could? Hey, look. I mean, supposedly,
You're asking,
if he wins 6
are
games,
they going to move on?
if he wins 6 games, are they going to start asking questions?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think if he goes 7-5, they ask. I don't think they're going to be happy if he goes 8-4. He needs to go 9-4 or 10-3
Well,
or 11-2.
oh, God, I don't. He'll have to beat LSU.
He could upset LSU. He could upset Bama. I do not think that. And I know y'all are going, well, why would you pick an upset Alabama and not Georgia? They never played Georgia. Alabama and Ole Miss has become a rivalry.
Because of Lane and Saban, though.
Alabama, Ole Miss upset them twice since me and Matt's been buddies. They've upset Alabama twice. Yes, no, I do not think Ole Miss ever goes into Georgia and upsets them. I don't even remember the last time them two played. But they're not upsetting them both. They could go 10-2, but I'm picking them 9-3.
Jeff thinks he's going to be hitting the road. They're going to win. If they win 9 games, they ain't going to run him off.
No way.
No.
But Jeff, I mean, they're better than 9 of the 12 teams on their schedule.
Afternoon game at Tulane, the humidity. But I mean, they're playing Ole Miss. The humidity's probably not much substantially different from
Right. Well, Tulane's in New Orleans, and
Ole Miss is just
Oxford. Yeah,
2 hours south,
not far.
3 hour drive.
3 hour drive south. Yeah, for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go.
So we think
He
Ole
needs to
Miss.
go 9-4. I'm talking about with the bowl game and everything. He needs to improve.
Needs to have 9 wins.
Yes.
But if he only has 6 wins,
If he only has 6 wins, he may get fired with their schedule. Because, I mean, I know we don't have to, and I know I'm beating a dead horse here, and you're like, shut up, quit saying that. They're better than Auburn. They're better than Arkansas. They're better than Mississippi State. They're better than A&M, Vandy, Tulane. They're better than everybody except Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. And there may be boosters going, you need to at least beat Alabama or LSU. Come on now. Look at these quarterbacks you've got.
Well,
Look at this running back.
the thing is,
He's got to go 9-3.
the way things are too,
Sorry.
that
Why am I slamming this? I'm acting like I'm a booster.
second ass crap. The things are, what is this? The things are that how the West has been laid out. Now let's look what happened last year. We can, LSU wins the West.
Was unexpected.
They upset Alabama in a game that come down to a close game. Alabama runs right there, half awake,
Mm-hmm.
and they, lose the game. Well, what they lose by a point? Was it a 1-point game?
They lost 32-31.
Because they lost 2 games combined 4 points. And Bama fans' faces melted off. They're having a terrible year firing Nick Saban. You lost 2 games by 4 points, and you're going nuts. Don't do that.
I think
fans.
it was 32. And they went for 2.
Yeah, don't do that. So my point is this. Why then, with the door being open for the West, then, as the boosters sitting around with their cigars and fine scotch, and they're thinking, after things that happened last year, Nick's on a tear, and he's going to come back, and he's going to be fired up. Kevin Steele's calling the defense. They're probably better on D. We know the guys that they have on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Kelly got lucky in some games and lost some games he probably shouldn't have lost. What I'm saying is Ole Miss boosters may feel like the door is cracked open in the West this year. You think the door is open? Because Bama's just been slamming the door, right?
Yeah, and I don't think that. I don't know what Kirk Street's talking about.
Bama slammed the door in the West for 10 or 12 years,
For
right?
a while, yes.
Do you think the door's open in the West right now? More than it has been.
More than it has been, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's between Ole Miss, LSU, and Alabama. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if any of them won it. Now, if Arkansas or Auburn or Mississippi State wins it, I'm going to be shocked. I don't think the West is as good as it's been. I think Auburn's a little down. I think A&M's down. I think Mississippi State's down. And Arkansas, to be honest with you. But the top 3 are pretty good, which would be Ole Miss, LSU, and
Bama.
Yes. And then, Bama, they figure out who their quarterback is. I think Bama's going to be fantastic on defense. And but they got to figure out who their quarterback is. You can't. I don't. Herb Street, really? Then we don't even know who their quarterback is going to be, and you're picking them to win the national championship?
He didn't say much. He just said, with it being Nick Saban.
Well, I understand that, but he's still got to have a quarterback.
He's on a tear.
Yeah.
And they do know things from the inside that we don't.
They do.
They get inside news. So we think the door is cracked.
I think it is.
Just a little bit.
But I'm not going to pick Ole Miss to win the West.
No.
And I still hadn't decided.
They just got so many darn transfers. They got so many transfers come in.
I got a ton of them. I mean, when your 2 receivers are going to be transfers.
Benton Burge, LSU Alabama winner represents the West, and that's kind of how we. I mean, that's the foregone conclusion.
That's what we're asking here. Is there any way Ole Miss slips in there and gets one of them?
They may be able to beat one of those. Here's the thing, guys. You just mentioned it. Jeff popped it up there on the screen. Yeah, they're working with over 20 transfers come in.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about bringing in guys that has not played, for you. And we know Ole Miss and Sanders and Jackson Dart, things that are going on there. They got 2 other guys, and they got the Simmons guy coming from high school out of Florida. Is graduating early. He's like 16 years old with a 5.0 GPA.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with the 5.3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got this guy coming too. I think that there's a crack in the door, that there's an opportunity for Ole Miss. We're going to have to see how it all plays out. And I'm sure I'll make this comment probably at least 8 more times before we finish up our SEC games when the season starts September, and we'll be hitting high school the end of August. But SEC is just open.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
no
100% this year,
well,
especially.
there's no concrete. By God, I tell you what, Georgia repeat. They three-peat. I don't think anybody with any logically, Benton is a football connoisseur and he is a Georgia fan, but he's not even saying there's just it's a foregone conclusion Georgia three-peating. I don't know.
I don't think anybody could say that right now.
I mean, Michigan is going to bring back. This is to be Harbaugh's best team he's ever had.
And Ohio State, but
they're going to be loaded. We done picked him to win it.
I mean, they got 2 running backs in the top 25, 2 receivers in the top 5.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a ton of good. I wish they started the playoff this year.
Harrison Jr. is hooking up with his high school quarterback.
Yeah. And Egbuka is the second best receiver. They're 1-3. 1-3. I think Egbuka's just as good as Harrison. A lot of people don't. I do.
It's so close. I wouldn't even waste my breath to argue.
Right. It's not an argument.
I could say, yeah, I think Harrison's a little better, but it's
kind of like Michie and Williams that year for Alabama. And how can you say, well, one's better than the other one? I mean, come on.
It's just one does one thing a little better than the other one, but then the other one does one thing better than the other one. They complete each other. If that makes sense. You complete me.
That was from – what was that from? Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire.
I don't think they look at each other. Did they?
You complete me, Harrison. You do too, Abuka.
Wait, was that on? Oh, he said you complete me, and she said you had me at hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
You know, I can't even watch that movie.
I can't either. It's just not real good.
I liked it then.
Yeah.
But I can't even watch it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why he married her. He went on that 1 date, 2 dates. I mean, I don't want to get into the dynamics of the movie.
He just fell in too quick. A lot of guys do that. They fall too quick.
He fell in love with the little boy.
Yeah, he was a cute little guy.
Yeah. Good movie, though.
It was.
But I cannot rewatch it.
Minority Report. I watched it again the other day. Man, that's a good one. With the balls dropped to the machine and they have those 3 people in that pool, that predict murder.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-crime era.
Oh.
You ever seen that one?
No, I've
Minority
never seen
Report?
Minority. No.
Bro.
Good, huh?
Yes. Good, great Tom Cruise movie. I just watched Collateral while I've been out grilling all day.
Where he's
coming in out of the house, grilled some
Hitman.
burgers, grilled some dogs today. Getting my new grill my son got me for Father's Day. What a fantastic son I have. Got me a good grill.
Oh, I wonder why you was grilling today.
Yeah, got some gas. Got me a tank to put in it.
Huh.
It was a great Father's Day gift. He always does. He gave me a electric saw one year. It's perfect. I went there in the yard and cut trees with it. So shout out to my son. I love you very much. I got a good kid. So, yeah, running in and out to watch Collateral. It's a good movie. Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. But back to football. SEC's wide open. Georgia's not going to three-peat. Bama has questions at quarterback, but they have before, and they've won it when they had Coker, when they had Sims, and Sims and them nearly won it.
Nearly.
Mississippi State just went through the fact they have their defensive coach is their new coach. LSU, they come on and they were hot. I mean, they won the West, but they did lose some players.
They did, but they got some back.
What's up with Florida? We're going to do them pretty soon too. We got to do Florida.
Without digging too deep into it. And I know y'all are like, dude, y'all done half the SEC and you ain't even picked anybody to be bad yet. I do not think Florida will be good. Not yet.
No. I watched the spring game.
And we're getting to that. Now we've already picked. We didn't give A&M a lot of props. We didn't give Arkansas a lot of props. And we really wasn't wild about Kentucky. But guys,
after covering them, I think you think they're going to be probably as good as they were last year.
And I don't know how sold I am on South Carolina. I
did.
Guys, I'm telling you, and I hope, man, I'm good friends with the guy that's a huge Florida fan, and it's not going to be a good review.
I don't see it either. In South Carolina, I did a spot on them. You go back and find. They're moving when you're moving receivers to running back. Dean, that's not
I do think Tennessee will be good.
it's not a recipe for success when you're moving receivers to running back.
I think Vandy will be okay.
Yeah,
They're going to win some of these games.
Hey, that quarterback is money.
Mm.
Please, somebody, please go watch Vanderbilt spring. I'm telling you, this cat's the money. I watched him in the SEC media days last year, his interviews. Of course, he's at Vandy. He's sharp. He knows the game. He studies the film. I like their quarterback, and I didn't pick them to beat Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the third time I've done this. I'm not picking them to beat Auburn.
But that's a catch game.
It's at Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn goes up there asleep, and I think they go to Arkansas the next week or something.
Now Vandy will upset somebody.
They're not going to beat Auburn, but
They can upset somebody.
if
in a
Auburn
heartbeat.
scores with like 8 minutes left and then stops Vandy on the last drive, and then Auburn turns the ball over, then Auburn stops them again from a field goal, not getting close enough, and Auburn wins 33-24. I won't be surprised.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
I won't
definitely.
stop them some, but so we're trying to pick bad SEC teams in Florida, South Carolina, of course, Vandy,
I really don't know about Missouri.
Missouri.
I don't know. I can't say.
We're going to get into them too. Yeah.
I mean, it is possible for every team. I mean, there was one year there, 11 of them went to a bowl game. So it is possible for all of them to go 5-7 or 6-6.
Jeff thinks the Ole Miss has too many freshmen. Now, they got a lot of transfers that have played football. Now, they didn't play there. The Noles defense has improved every second year. Yeah.
Who?
I don't know if it's
Oh, the Land Sharks.
so. Well, what else we got? We're gonna do some.
Hold it. I got a message from Neil. I got one more thing here. Hold it. I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, just don't.
No, this is about the show. He's asking about the Ole Miss.
Yeah, just don't reply. If you want to talk, there's a chat box there.
Oh no, I was kidding. He's telling me that Neil Colley, who lives close to Oxford, says giving them pretty big props.
Yeah, if they don't know we're on the show, then just
No, he said he knows we're on the show.
well then comment right there so we can all read it and be part of the show.
But he said that out there they're pretty excited about their football season.
Where at?
Ole Miss.
I guess if they're going to be, yeah, I mean, third SEC West team.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. Well, they're thinking they can do better than that.
So they're going to beat LSU and Alabama.
Well, he didn't say that, but
Beat one of them.
possibly. I mean, he didn't go into detail. He just said they think everybody out there thinks Ole Miss is going to be very good.
It'll be would be surprised if Ole Miss beat LSU.
Yes, I would be. I would be.
I don't
Or
think
Alabama.
I would be. I think it's just because it's Kelly. It's kind of his second tenure in.
It's at home. So, well, let's see. Yes, it's at home. And Arkansas's at home. A&M's at home. Mississippi State's away. Only place they go to is Bama. Well, Georgia.
Yeah.
Auburn, Mississippi State. So,
And we're going to talk about Georgia too. And we need to get bent on when we do Georgia. Now, is it just a foregone conclusion? Also, again, I've used that word twice today. I'm expanding my vocabulary here.
mm-hmm.
That Georgia's just going to win all their game because they're like week 4 they got Ball State, then they play Murray State. I mean, Tennessee's really their only challenge. So is it an all-gone conclusion that Georgia's just going to go undefeated and walk to the SEC championship?
Looks pretty good. They don't have a tough schedule. They don't play. There's nobody on their schedule that's better than them. Nobody. That don't mean that you win all of them. If you wouldn't, but if you didn't have to play the games and all you had to do was go off point spreads, Georgia's 12-0. They're not going to be favored to lose any of their ball games. There's no way.
Well, they're not going to meet anybody then until either the championship game.
So who does their out of conference? Well, they play.
They have Ball State, Murray State.
I mean, who's their?
it's great.
Who do they cross with in the West? Ole Miss, but it's at home. I don't think Ole Miss will have nothing for them there.
So they,
Maybe if they went to Ole Miss, possibly. But I don't know how good Georgia's going to be. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
They're loaded.
they've last year they kept the guys on the defensive front that they needed, across the front, because the first year they lost a bunch of guys, but Alexander and all them, and of course Bayer went to USC. I'm just saying that I don't know if any of those games on their schedule that they could lose to.
I didn't.
That's
see
the
nothing.
thing. Like if they could add Alabama, like play Bama.
I mean, they could lose to Tennessee, possibly.
If they lose, like they played Bama this year and lost to them, but they just don't play anybody.
Well, say next year they start playing Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to start getting doses of Oklahoma and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no more East and West. It's just going to be
Right.
SEC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they win the West. And I mean the East. They're not going to win the West too. They ain't that good. I mean, they're not going, but they could win the overall, obviously.
I like to see them get Michigan round one. See how Harbaugh's really take not the best team Kirby's going to have. This is not the best team he's ever had out there. And I don't want to hear that from no Georgia fans. I don't want to hear that.
No, their best team they had was 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear, Beck's going to come in and win a title, and he's going to be – this guy on Twitter Space the other day is telling me that Beck's going to be top 3 in the nation. He's going to be in New York for a Heisman visit.
Mm.
I just have – there's nothing to base that on.
I'm not big on –
nothing.
That's why I don't like Herb Street doing that. What are you talking about? For one, don't jinx us. And
he's basing it on Nick Saban. That in the history in the past,
you still got to have somebody that's on your team.
Usually, this is because their defense is going to be so good, and
their defense is going to be good now.
And Kevin Steele running the defense, it's going to be different.
But that claim and the claim that Beck's going to be in, I mean, just let's let it play out a little bit.
I tell you who I think's going to be. We'll do this as the summer goes on. We're going to not be on next week. Okay, guys, y'all enjoy your Sunday off. I'll probably be on during the week. If some news hits, I'll come on and do a spot. Did you forget Bo Nix is playing at Oregon still? He's been playing the college football for like 8 years. Feels like.
Yeah, feels like because he started forever.
Phoenix. Guys, he's great. He threw for, how many? What did he throw for last year?
4,000.
Yeah, it was close to 5,000 yards last year. 40 touchdowns. Great completion percentage.
Caleb Williams.
He'll be in the mix.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Beck may be great, but I don't.
What about the day kid at North Carolina? We talked about him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Mark.
I mean, I'm
the
just
receivers
saying.
At Ohio State, Coral, Michigan's quarterback, McCarthy. He's supposed to be good.
It's just is McCarthy and Will Rogers about in the same category as coming back? You kind of look at them about the same.
Yeah. I would think. I think McCarthy's good. He just had a bad game against TCU.
Oh gosh.
Well, I mean, he threw 2 pick sixes, not 1, 2.
Let me tell you what. I've said this, and I think he got out coached.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, obviously the plays weren't very good. I don't know why he threw him. He hadn't thrown nothing, done nothing wrong all year.
Jim seemed nervous for the first time. I mean, he's Jim Harbaugh. You're saying, Matt, why would he be nervous? I'm just saying what it looked like.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a fun year, and it's going to be about like college basketball. I don't think, and nobody's going to know starting out. Maybe after 6 weeks, you can start predicting who you think is going to win it. But I think it's pretty pointless to, we've covered 10 teams right now that can win it. I mean, since we've started, you've got Florida State, you've got Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, USC, Alabama, LSU, Georgia. Well, come on. I mean, that Clemson, that's 9.
Yeah, the Clemson's got to get back in the run at some point.
Oh, and they're loaded. I mean, they're loaded again.
Yeah, Ben says same thing. We think Beck's going to be great. I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
I think he'll be fine.
But until you've lined up and started, getting hit in the mouth, well, but who's going to hit him in the mouth? Murray State or Piggly Wiggly University or, Cornwall Tech or.
Hey, Cornwall's good.
He's just not going to be. They're going to be so rested. I mean, They're going to be so
Right.
ready to play an SEC title game.
And they may win it. That may be their aid in winning it. They may not be banged up. That
Did
goes
Miss-
a long way.
Did Mississippi State?
Eternity later.
Did Mississippi State even play? They don't play Georgia, did they? No.
No. Ole Miss does.
Yeah, so Ole Miss and Tennessee's their only.
Ole Miss and Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
And then if somebody else, South Carolina ends up being pretty good. That's supposed to be good. That's 3.
I'll take Vandy in the East and Auburn in the West.
Who said that?
There.
All right, Aaron. It's a bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
NBA.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
tell us about we got deep in college football there, guys. Thank y'all for coming by. Hit the
That's good. That's what
subscribe
we
button.
do.
If you're commenting on the show, obviously you're already a subscriber. So if you're new and you're watching and you want to comment, jump in there and talk with us. That's what we do. We do college football and we get around about some other news. Hit the subscribe button where you can chat and comment with everybody else on the page. Again, thank you guys for coming by. Podcast listeners, we appreciate you guys. We'll be off next week and we'll come back and have the big time high school preview show. You don't want to miss that. Kevin Moore, live in on Zoom, Coach Michael Short in the house right here on the couch.
I'm looking forward to that. NBA news. First off, I'm just going to talk about some players, big time players that are going to other places to play. Bradley Beal, superstar for the Washington Wizards. A lot of people don't know much about him because you never see the Wizards on TV.
And make sure you. Where's Joe figuring this out? When you turn him, like when you're talking, and then when you turn, you see, like when I'm like this, I kind of lean,
Yeah.
stay behind it.
Uh-huh.
If you're on here, and then when you turn, you can't hear it.
Oh,
So I'm saying,
okay. Yeah.
So when you turn, kind of lean, and then still keep it in front of
Well,
you.
I'm trying to keep it in front of
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I can just do it
So
like
when
this.
When you do that, and when you turn your head,
Yeah.
it ain't picking you up.
Oh, okay. What about now?
We're figuring it out.
All right, so some big trades. Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. We didn't know a lot about him because they don't show him. All right, he's going to the Suns. He's going to join Kevin Durant and
Chris Paul?
No,
No, Chris is leaving.
Chris is leaving. He's going to join Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So that's Bradley Beal. That's 3 guys that can average 30 points a game on the same team.
So the Suns should be pretty good next year.
Should be pretty good. All right, but they lost Chris Paul. Chris Paul heads out to join
Yeah, he's playing Golden State. He's gonna play with
Curry,
and
Thompson, and Andre Wiggins
Clay and Green and
and Green. But you got 2 point guards now. Who's you going to be?
well,
Curry's really a shooting guard, though, right?
yes. I think Chris knows his role on
Right.
the team. He's the older guy of the bunch, right?
Right. He's getting close to 40.
He may. You think he'll be the guy to kind of hang out in the corner, and Curry may bring it up and find him, pass it to Clay, back to the top, and back in the corner to Chris for 3.
Yeah.
Maybe that kind of guy.
I mean, I think he'll do
A
fine.
Ray Allen of the
Heat.
Heat team.
Yeah.
That role.
Exactly. Yeah, I would think. He's getting on up there. Everybody acts like they don't want him, but I don't.
Dude, he's a great guy.
He's
When's the
a
last time
great
you heard
guy. He's
about
a
it?
great
Like,
player.
has the cops ever raided CP3's house? No. He's a good player, man. He's a good guy.
Poole, the Warriors did lose him. Jordan Poole, he's going to the Wizards. That's kind of where Paul comes in play. So Paul, long story short, Paul got traded to the Wizards for Bradley Beal. Okay. Beal goes to the Suns. Then they trade Paul again to the Warriors, and the Wizards pick up Jordan Poole. Poole had a bad playoff. He didn't do good in the playoffs, so they pretty much got rid of him. And this is a trade I did not care for, but you'll see what they got. Marcus Smart's going to the Grizzlies.
Yeah. I talked about that on that little test shot I
don't
did, but
care for that.
Porzingis coming.
Porzingis coming to the Celtics.
Yeah, leaving the
Knicks.
the.
He's hurt a lot.
Oh, I thought bullets or. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of.
Well, he's been injured a lot.
I mean, he's a player, and
He is. But Smart was part of that core 3, man.
and you know we talked about that during the season. Was like, I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if they'll ever bust up. You know, will that group?
Already.
And we thought, I said, It's going to happen. It's just the way it is these days, and that's just how it is.
And I thought Smart played well in the playoffs, but he's the one that's the top 5. That's the top 5 changes. That would be Bill to the Suns, Paul to the Warriors, Poole to the Wizards, Smart to the Grizzlies, and Porzingis to the Celtics. Now, I don't know how he'll fit in with Tatum and Brown, but that'll be interesting. So far, but guys, y'all don't realize that the NBA season's only been over for 2 weeks. So that's why there's not been a lot of acquisitions. That's pretty big for the first 2 weeks. It's some pretty big stuff right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just kind of how that's kind of how it's just going to be.
Yeah.
That's just the way the world works now.
And the other thing I was going to talk about, Matt, I did some research. First round draft pick. We're not going to get deep in the NBA draft, but Victor Wembanyama, 7'5", goes to the Spurs. Now, this is a pretty good story here. He's from France. Parents were athletes. Granddad was a pro athlete. Sister was a pro athlete. He's 19 right now. He played in a pro game. Guess how old he was when he played in his first Euro League pro game?
Probably 16.
15.
Yeah, he was probably 6'6" when he was 15.
15, but he didn't do much, but he did play in some games. At age 17, he signed a 3-year contract in the Euro League. He averaged 6.5 points, 4 rebounds a game in the Euro League at age 17. And then this year's when he took off. He played for the Metro 92s of the French Pro League, LMB Pro A. That stuff just complicated to me. But this year he really took off. 21 points, 10.5 boards, 3 blocks. I'm just going to go on record that that's pretty impressive for an 18, 19-year-old kid. But I don't know. I don't know about this kid.
Well,
I mean, I think he's going to be good. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust, but I don't know that he's going to be what they're.
He looks frail to me.
Well, that's one thing I was going to add. He's had a ton of injuries.
He looks kind of frail. Stephen A. kind of called out on it and said, let's just pump our brakes a little bit. Okay, let's just slow down. He's going to be a good player, but let's don't act like he's.
Well, I mean, people having parties in the street because he's
LeBron
coming
James.
to San Antonio. No, he's not. I'll go on and predict he's not. We want the next LeBron James,
There's one out there somewhere.
but it's not going to be this guy.
No.
I don't think. The stats don't match it up. I mean, you know what he averaged year before this past year? 11.
Now he's going to the Spurs, and the Spurs who are they going to be banging on?
Well, I mean,
In that league, in that conference there.
and that the Spurs are
The
in
Nuggets.
there with the Nuggets and all that.
Done. See what I'm saying?
Rockets, which I don't think the Rockets are very good right now. Oklahoma City, Utah.
Answer me this then. The first time he tries to go low and do something fancy, he may have a great hook shot, but you imagine Joker banging on him.
Yeah, they pretty rough. Yeah.
Do you see him being successful against those bigs?
Well, and I think some of the reasons he's missed so much time is because of his age. I mean, he's young. I mean, he was playing at 16 regularly.
And you've seen what happened to kind of how Zion come in the league. I mean, he's missed so many games. He don't even play. He's missed more games than he's played.
I'm hoping this year that he just plays
He's in a lot of mess with that lady friend and all that
the
crap.
whole year. I'd like to see him finish
He's
out
in
the whole year.
he's in a big mess with that. It's going to cost him some money.
Yeah.
I mean, he's paying her off. He's trying to pay her off. So Zion's in a big mess.
He's nearly 50-50. Now, what I mean by that, he's played in a little over 50% of the games he's played or supposed to.
Yeah.
He's like played in 246. There's been 246 possible, and he's missed 114.
Yeah.
That's rough. And they're starting to get on him. They're starting to really get on him bad.
And now he's got all this baby mama drama stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not good. But the NBA, I mean, early, obviously, Phoenix is going to be very good. But I think, again, I don't look for Denver to move anybody. I think they're going to be good. I think the Warriors, I'll just be honest with you. I hope this don't make you mad, Janet Hawkins. You remember Janet? You don't remember? It's Alicia Steele and them's mama.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what
Huge Golden State fan. I think they're done.
Oh, okay.
I think they're done.
Even with CP3, they're going to be.
Yes. I don't think they're going to be bad, but I think their run's over. I think the Lakers run's over. I think it's going to be Denver and Phoenix and Boston and probably Miami and Philadelphia. I mean,
Yeah,
I think Philadelphia is going to make some moves. Probably get rid of Harden, bring some people in there. I don't know. They blamed everything on Harden pretty much.
Embiid's still going to be playing. He's great.
Yeah. Hawks are going to be pretty good.
Yeah, Trey Ice he can light it up.
But I think it's going to be right now. I think it's going to be between Denver and I know we just got done with this.
Oh, what about our Celtics?
Oh yeah, they're definitely still going to be. As long as Tatum and Brown's around, be them. I think them. New York Knicks, Atlanta.
Does Bazinga add anything to the Celtics? I don't. I mean, maybe he does. I
don't know.
I don't. Maybe he does, and I don't think so.
I don't know. That's a good question.
What does he add?
I mean, he can score a lot and rebound, but he's been hurt a lot. I mean, he's just Kristaps. That's its name. Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's odd. And, really, let's be honest, Boston was very close to playing in the finals this year. I don't think they would have done nothing with Denver. But they were very close to playing.
Nobody was beating them this year. The Nuggets.
No.
They had it.
They had it going on.
Yeah. Guys, show 195 is in the books.
195.
Let's get off here and go put our feet up. And again, thank everybody for coming by. Coach Short, Anderson, Jerry, Aaron, Benton, all you guys for coming by. What's mine here? He'll be an all-star by year 3.
Who said that?
Coach Short.
Oh, Wimbanya will be?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Coach. I'm not disagreeing with that, but is he going to be the superstar they think he's going to be?
I don't know.
Just something seems off.
He just looks like
nobody that tall has ever been that great.
Dude, he looks like Manute Ball.
Yeah. Nobody that tall. Let me rephrase that. Nobody that height has ever had a great career.
Yeah, wait till they match up and he plays against like Joel Embiid or somebody when they run up along them along the way somewhere.
And Shaquille was he 7'2"?
Yeah, but he don't look like a stick man neither. Shaq was
right.
A grown
what
man.
Was Kareem 7'2", 7'1"?
And he had that crazy sky hook, but that was in a time in the league where there wasn't that wild, flashy kind of style offense.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know. I don't. Magic, of course, was the greatest passer, probably one of the best passers of the ball. But I mean, nobody's doing these like Euro steps and triple, quadruple crossover, back step, triple back step, dribble it back, and shoot. I mean that wasn't going on then.
Right.
So what I'm saying is what Kareem did was work then.
Right.
But will that kind of hook work now? I guess. I mean, Joker killed it just a lot. I mean, he hit a lot of those little jump shots.
Well, Coach Short knows better than me. I mean, he's coached a long time, watched a lot of sports, but nobody that size has ever been very effective.
No, it's just not.
Not at 7'5". Now, they said that was a lie. He's really 7'2".
I don't think it matters.
I don't know, but they've got him listed as 7'5".
I said, yeah, he'll be fun to watch as he develops. Yeah, we're
man, I think he'll do fine.
We're rooting for the guy. He moves like a 6'5" guard. And against who he's playing against, so let's see what he does when he meets the big dogs.
Yeah, I don't know how good that league is. I mean, I don't. I know it may be better than the NBA. I have no idea. You know, a lot of people say those European players come over here and they're 10 times smarter.
Well, you seen how Joker was. He's just super technically sound.
Right. I said
So-
they're, Jokic and the one from Dallas,
Yeah, Doncic.
Doncic, and just their IQ's just out of this world.
Yeah,
So I don't
that'll.
know.
I'm not gonna not cheer for the guy.
No,
I
I
mean,
hope he does good.
We won't all. I mean, if he comes in and averages 40 a game and 30 rebounds, good for him.
I don't know. The NBA
20 rebounds.
It's on my nerves. They don't seem to ever celebrate who's there. They always celebrate what's on the way.
But what's going to happen when Bron's gone?
I think it'll be fine.
I mean, what are they going to talk about?
This guy.
No.
They'll find somebody.
I'm curious. Who do y'all think is going to be? Who's going to be the next? Because when LeBron's gone, that's all they talk about. I mean, Shannon Sharp's gone. Okay, he's gone from FS1 with Skip.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to be the guy?
I don't have no idea. There's nobody right now. I mean, can't even imagine anybody. They don't talk about anybody else enough.
I can't think of nobody now.
No, well, there's not anybody.
So all the shows are going to be dead. So that's why you need to come over here. All right. We'll cover you sports. We're going to talk college football. And we're not going to talk about LeBron all the time. He's a good player, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I'll be glad when he's gone.
I think a lot of people will.
And then, that's probably not even his fault.
And he said they'll be talking about Bronny. And but he's at USC.
Yeah, well, he's not his dad either.
He'll be at USC. That's where he's going to be playing it. Bronny James, USC. So he'll have to play a year. Does he have to play? He has to play one. Right?
Has to play one.
So
that'll be all he plays. He'll be the number one pick no matter what. If he averages 3 points a game, I would think.
No show next week. Yeah, we're off next week, Jeff. Then we'll come back and we'll be doing the big high school show with Coach Short. So enjoy your Independence Day week, and everybody have a good weekend, and carry the umbrella with you. Maybe telling you there's a little low. I always do weather at the end of the show. There's a little low moving in around this part of the country coming this week, and we have a lot of storm activity coming off the coast of Africa. So that is entitled to say that there's hurricanes on the way.
Wow.
And this low pressure in the system that we're having right now could attract these hurricanes to come up around the Keys and break that hard, not that hard, right, and go up the coast, but linger in on Cuba. So in the next week or two, be prepared maybe for it's a possibility we could get some real heavy rains and hurricane type stuff. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So anyway.
We needed some rain, but we may be getting too much of it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be dry most first. It's going to rain some more tonight and in the morning, so probably carry a jacket with you in the morning if you're going to be out and about.
Oh, I thought it was done for tonight.
And I'll be back later, early in the morning, so I'll be out early, so I'll have to grab my rain jacket. All right. Show 195 is in the books. We appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good week. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. Peace.